Waiver wire week 7. Is it panic time? Listen, we've got a lot of injuries left, right, center. Big name guys getting down. I'm going to get you guys up to date on that. Give you waiver wires at each position and give you some advice to save your season. Is it too late? Listen, depending on your record, no matter what your record is, you need a win in a year of absolute uncertainty, meaning players that shouldn't be getting the ball are getting the ball. There's a lot of dilution, and I'm going to help you guys mitigate that risk here today and give you guys some waiver wire suggestions, okay? And get you completely up to date. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. If you're here regularly, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up. And also, another thing I'm going to do to help you guys, okay? I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. Leave them below. Okay, I'll try to get to them. Leave them in the comments. And also, guys, dive in, help each other out. This is a community, okay? We want to make sure that all of us win. So make sure you guys dive in the comments, help each other out, okay? But I want to get you guys a little up to date as to kind of what's going on with the latest news and notes here and give you guys some waiver wire suggestions. And again, the defense at the end, okay? You may want to stream some of these defenses in great matchups to succeed, okay? Let's start off with the latest news and notes here. I'm going to keep this vlog style here on this Monday. And I like doing these vlog style videos. Got the computer up, got all the notes here for you, and hope you guys are having a great day. But I'm telling you, man, we talk about, we're talking news now. We talk about like the NFL rigging games and like all these prop sites and when they got integrated, there's been a lot of manipulation. I totally believe it, guys. I'm a total believer that this is being manipulated. If you go back and look at the Chiefs game, now, if you're in my counselor's edge, I did mention that the Chiefs are going to win this game because they weren't going to let the Chiefs lose multiple primetime games. They were going to win this game regardless. That's why they were favored. So I had them winning the game. Now, you saw the one pass. I think it was Montgomery. I posted on my Insta. If you're not following my Instagram, go follow right now. Turn on the bell there to my stories, all that, so you're up to date on news and all this stuff. But you had the touchdown pass catch by Goff, and then it got reversed. I mean, it was like illegal motion or whatever it was. But at the end of the day, man, it's like constant stuff. And then there was that catch with Kelsey where the ball touched the ground, they counted as a catch. Then they rushed the play and they continued down the field to the Chiefs. So there's that. And there's other plays there, with Garrett Wilson where he caught the ball. It was a secured catch. We saw it. I posted the video, and then he turned around, made a football move, and he actually had 2 steps in. And then what they called it was an incomplete pass, where in fact, what that was a fumble, catch and fumble. So there's a lot of things that they're doing where it's like, okay, I can blatantly see that you guys are manipulating the game because that was a certain way and now you guys are changing it. So anyways, that's where we're at right now with the NFL. Not only that, we've got a lot of target dilution where players are being diluted in regards to a guy like Booty, right? If you look at Keyshawn Booty on the Patriots, the guy had one good week. I think it was 16 points week 1. Then he had like 4 bad weeks. Then he tears it up week 5. If Booty is the guy, why isn't he getting targeted every week? You saw Diggs last week crush it. This week, not as good as the week before when he had his revenge game against the Bills, right? It's constantly they constantly move the goalposts. They constantly switch. Anyway, so how do we mitigate this? There really is no way to do it other than you're trying your best to start your consistent players. Well, Joe, who's consistent? That's another thing, right? We'll go to injuries here. Emeka Egbuka is my consistent guy, and he got hurt, right? So even these consistent guys, these top players are getting hurt. Again, it's been just a wild year, and it's like wide receiver, running back, quarterback roulette. We're going to go over it, okay? So other things in the news, let's talk about this, okay? Week 7, uncertain for Emeka Egbuka. He's got basically what ends up happening with him is a hamstring. So those things could linger. I'm hoping he's okay. Hoping it's not serious, but that could be a couple weeks for Emeka Egbuka. That entire offense is messed up. We're talking waiver wire in a moment here, but you got Cameron Johnson, right, who had a touchdown, I believe, and you have Tez Johnson as well. Sorry, Cameron Johnson had 4 targets. Tez Johnson had the touchdown. He was a 7th round pick, Tez Johnson. So, I mean, this is what we're getting to where there's no Mike Evans. He's out with hamstring, right? You got Emeka who is tearing it up. He's out. Now we're looking at Tez Johnson's on the waiver wire week 7. That's how wild it is. Let's continue on here with some injuries here. Okay. Garrett Wilson. Jets head coach Aaron Glenn said Monday that he has a knee problem, is having an injury evaluated, and the team will provide update on his health. Garrett Wilson, big time name dealing with a knee. Puka Nacua, a guy that I mentioned. Now, there's a lot of things I don't see, like O'Brien Hampton. I did not expect that guy to get hurt, especially with how he got hurt. If you looked at it, he got somebody like swipe his ankle and then he's on IR. And they're saying now more than 4 weeks, which is wild. Now, Kamani Vidal was the guy I mentioned. You guys get on the waiver wire. Now, again, we're talking about this manipulation. Before that game, before the Chargers game, I'm going off on a tangent here. We'll get back to Puka in a second. Before that game, there was news that came out. Haskins is going to be the starter. Haskins has been declared the starter with the Chargers. And guess what? I told you guys, Vidal's the better talent because Haskins was a guy that did nothing. I think he was on Tennessee years ago, right? And then in comes Vidal, who I think looked better. I mean, it was kind of close, from what we saw sample size when Hampton went down. But it was like Vidal was the guy that did it, okay? So anyways, the fact that they told you that, minutes before the game starts, and then Vidal gets the bulk of the carries is absolutely quite deceptive if you ask me, okay? So going back to this, Puka ankle will miss most likely next week, and then he's going on a bye. But I'm telling you, this is the guy that I called. And I said this guy is injury prone. Sure enough, continuing to prove that I'm right here, okay? Other things here. This is a couple of things here. Juwan Jennings said that after Sunday's loss, he played with 5 broken ribs. Again, these injuries continue with these players, okay? Calvin Ridley was out. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's probably going to miss multiple weeks. Finally, when he got going, in week 5, come week 6, there he goes. He's out after one good week. And that's the problem, right? He had one good week. You start him because even I believed in him. I started him in one of my leagues. Okay, finally, Calvin Ridley has found his groove. Finally, Cam Ward is going to utilize his wide receiver one, and sure enough, he's out with injury. Absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous, okay? This is what we're dealing with here. Marvin Harrison Jr., concussion, confirmed. Another big name, 3rd round draft pick, gone, okay? Again, Kyler Murray, he missed the game. We got Quentin Johnson, he missed the game. He was sitting out week 6 due to a hamstring. Okay, it's like all these big names are gone. So what do we do? We're going to get to waiver wire in a second, but I had to mention how crazy this year has been with uncertainty. So what do we do now, Joe? You've told me it's been a crazy wild year. What do? We got to take a look at who's consistent, right? We look at the quarterback position. You got to look at who's emerging. Now, Jackson Dart, let's go to waiver wire here at each position. We got Jackson Dart. Look to get him. He's been consistent. If you look at him this week, excluding the Monday night games, we're talking Sunday, 3rd in fantasy points, 26.3 points. He looks like the real deal. Franchise guys, look to get him, especially in Dynasty. Acquire these guys because now they're sparking up. And you can sell guys that have bigger names. Guys like maybe Jared Goff or, a Jordan Love or some of these bigger names for a Jackson Dart because there's more upside. So now you're starting to look for youth and upside. Who's emerging? Who's stepping up? Okay, Mahomes had a good game. Drake May, another guy, relatively consistent, finished 2nd in fantasy points amongst quarterbacks, excluding, again, the Monday game. We got the Bills and other teams playing tonight. We got 2 games, okay? So Sam Darnold having himself a good game. Look to get those. Waiver wire for quarterbacks, Joe Flacco finished 12th in fantasy points, okay? He's on Cincinnati. Not the best pick, but when you're looking for consistency in a super flex league, maybe you want to start a quarterback that's going to get you the points. Joe Flacco and Jackson Dart are the guys to get at the quarterback position. Moving on to the running back position here, okay? Waiver wire week 7, a lot of uncertainty, but Rico Dowdle has been consistent, man, tearing it up. 33.9 fantasy points. PPR, absolutely outstanding. Multiple weeks, finishing number 1 amongst running backs, excluding the Monday game here. So who do I pick up here? Listen, there really isn't anybody to pick up. Kamani Vidal, you probably picked him up last week, probably not available in your leagues, but if he is, grab him. We got Sean Tucker, who had a touchdown. Again, some of these guys did well because they had a touchdown. Is the touchdown going to continue? I don't know. But having a touchdown inflates them for that 1 week, and then they don't get a touchdown, then they end up with 2 points, right? So, Bam Knight could be another guy, 12 points, but very touchdown dependent. Again, we talked about Sean Tucker. Take a look at these running backs. There really isn't anybody here that, might be available on waiver wire. Maybe Rashad White, he's available. Who knows, right? Kenneth Gainwell, is he available? Check it out. Justice Hill had himself 9.4 points. Maybe he's available in your leagues, right? You got a couple fullbacks that got some points. Hunter Luepke, which was Luepke, whatever his name is. 3 years with Dallas. finally gets a touchdown, like his first touchdown his entire life. I think that was, no, yeah, I think, yeah, it was like first time. No, he had one touchdown in 2023. But yeah, I mean, this is what we're talking about. I think he's he's a running back, Hunter Lupke / fullback or whatever, but like, I'm not going to roster that guy. Michael Carter, right? Maybe grab him. You know, it's just like, there's nobody here that I think is going to save your season, right? This is why I tell you, like, when you're drafting, robust RB, it's a thin and trim position. Now, when we go to wide receiver, a couple guys, Keyshawn Boutte, if he's available in your leagues, I doubt he's available. I got him in like waiver wire week 2 or whatever it was, and he was on my bench. Because again, inconsistent for 4 weeks. He had a big week. Watch, if I go to start him next week, he's going to have 2 points. This is what's going on right now. I'm telling you, they're purposely trying to screw your teams. We got to be aware of it. But the only way we could do it is just try to acquire the most consistent players. So that's why I'm looking. Who's consistent? We got George Pickens, trade for him, right? Trade for this guy. Jackson Smith, going to be hard to get him. I recommended him in 16 rounds. I knew he'd have a good week as soon as Metcalf, good year as soon as Metcalf was shipped off. Keyshawn Boutte, Jamar Chase, Ladd McConkey heating up. Had himself a good week because Quentin Johnson was sidelined. He came back. Brian Thomas finally getting his first touchdown. Amazing stuff, right? It took him, 6 weeks to get a touchdown? Crazy. Marquise Brown, KC, with Rashee Rice return. Now, Marquise Brown had himself a good game, 20.5 points. He had 2 touchdowns, 4 for 4. Now, you go ahead and you pick up Marquise Brown, or you start Marquise Brown, and Rashee Rice comes back, you're going to be upset. Like, this is what I'm saying, right? Like, sometimes they're 1 week wonders. You got to be aware of that. Wan'Dale Robinson had a good game, right? Giants, 7 targets, 6 receptions. Might be worth a start, right, when he plays next. DK Metcalf had himself a good game, but had the touchdown, right? Kendrick Bourne, San Fran, but what happens when Pearsall comes back? So there's a lot of moving, a lot of shifting. It's up to you to be aware, based on who you have, how that scenario is going to look, right? You got to say, did the player have a good week? Okay, yeah, he had a good week. How do you have a good week? Well, there was an injury, opened up a spot, and he had a touchdown. Well, maybe if the player comes back from injury and he doesn't get that touchdown, how is he going to look that week? So it's about using your brain. It's not as simple as like, I'm going to plug this guy in. He's going to get 8 receptions for 2 touchdowns, and I'm guaranteed gold every single week. I mean, we had guys like Brian Thomas. Like I said, it took him 6 weeks to finish in the top 10 here. Ladd McConkey as well. Jamar Chase had a slow start. He seems consistent as of late. So here's where we're at, guys. Tatori McMillan finally cracking the top 12 here, excluding the Monday games. So who do we pick up off waiver wire? It depends on who's available. Like I said, Kendrick Bourne, watch out. Marquise Brown, but do you trust him? Absolutely not. We talked about Boutte. We talked about Wan'Dale Robinson. And here's the deal, right, with Tampa Bay. There's an injury over there with Emeka. If he's not back, you got to take a look at who? Tez Johnson, who had the touchdown? Are you looking at Cameron Johnson, right, who had 4 targets? Like, who are we? Like, it's a crapshoot. We don't know. We don't know what you don't know. I mean, I would probably, if you're desperate, roll the dice on a Cameron Johnson or Tez Johnson for next week. But, you know, it's really, really dicey, okay? That's wide receiver for you. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys that should have done well that didn't. Puka got hurt, right? You got Marvin Harrison Jr. that got hurt. You got Emeka Egbuka got hurt. You got Garrett Wilson finishing outside the top 15 fantasy points for this week. Stephon Diggs, 48th, 5.8 points. We're talking, guys. Stephon Diggs, who had a big week the week before, crapping the bed, couldn't even crack 7 points. Ryan Flournoy, I picked him up, had himself a good week the week before, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 6.3 points, coming off that huge week the week before. He looked good. Situation looks good. CeeDee Lamb banged up. Why wouldn't you start him again? Now he puts up 6 points. Are you kidding me, right? So this is just a weird year, man. You really just have to go into your specific team and figure it out. If you want direct access to me, just join my Patreon. Go to patreon.com/FFcounselor. Join the Patreon. I do a Q&A where I'm going to do the research for you to help you guys out. But man, oh man, book a direct call. If you guys are in a high stakes league and you need to save your league, book a direct coaching call. Linked it below, okay? But that's the type of year we're in right now, okay? Tight end, man, start. I got Warren, so I've been very fortunate. I've been starting Tyler Warren in my leagues. I'm good. I don't got to worry. But let's take a look at some tight ends you may want to consider off waiver wire. And really, to be honest with you, there really isn't much, man. I mean, Harold Fannin, if he's available, probably not. Tucker Kraft's probably not available. Michael Mayer, if he's available in your league, he had a good week. These guys like Dallas Goedert, McBride, Warren, Laporta, all these guys aren't going to be available. Higbee had a good game, 4 for 4 in regards to targets, but touchdown dependent. Is that going to continue? I don't know, man. Jake Tongs, how much more can you get out of him when Kittle returns, right? Tanner Hudson, Green Bay, 5 targets, 4 receptions. Is that consistent? I pull up Tanner Hudson's stats, and he had one good game. Like, he was not targeted any week prior to this week, and he had, like, I wouldn't even trust that. Like, I just no, to that. AJ Barner, I'd probably consider him. And then look at this, Nate Adkins, who's never seen the ball in his life. Denver Broncos, tight end, like 3. I don't know what he is. Like, first touchdown in his career. Literally has done nothing. Absolutely nothing all season. Nothing his entire career. Has been 3 seasons. 3 seasons with Denver. Finally gets a touchdown. He actually had 3 touchdowns in 2024, but nothing worth noting. And you look at this, man, like, are you going to draft or acquire off the waiver wire Nate Adkins? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not going to do that. It's stupid, right? Connor Hayward, Pittsburgh, right? Like, 1 target, 1 reception, and I think he got a touchdown. Like, stuff like that. It's just like a one of, don't do it, right? So, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's and then people just say, "Oh, draft this, pick up this guy off waiver wire, pick up or Ande Gaddison." There's another guy you could pick up. He had 8 targets. That's what you want to look for, higher targets. He ended up fumbling, I think. But you got to take a look at, like, who are the target getters and make sure they're on your team, or trade for them. Get them on your team if you can. Okay. Defenses this week that have good matchups: Pittsburgh versus Cincy. Love that matchup. New England versus Tennessee. Love that matchup. Other good matchups here. We got the Jets, Seattle, Chiefs, and Washington. All good matchups. And I really absolutely love Green Bay versus Arizona this upcoming week. So my advice to you, man, it's like, it's wild. You got injuries. You've got uncertainty. You've got possible rigging. All right. I don't know 100%, but like, that's where we're at. It's like, you got to kind of think outside the box and look for who's consistent. Don't fall for the trap like, this guy had 1 touchdown, I got to play on that type of thing, right? You got to look for consistency. If it's there, you take it, you trade for it, you go and you get it, okay? That's what I do. So go back, look, how consistent is a player? Is it sustainable? And that's all I can tell you, okay? Waiver wire week 7. Hopefully this helped out. Again, drop a question. I'll try to get to as many as I can. I know a lot of other influencers in the space don't get back. I'll try my best to get back to as many as I can. Sometimes I get inundated. If you want guaranteed access, patreon.com/FF Counselor. Join the Frontlines. I've linked it below as well. And I drop literally a post every single week where you get direct access in the Q&A. I even drop a Q&A for the waiver wire. Try to jump into those as well. All right, guys, have yourself a great day. Good luck. Enjoy the Monday night games. Talk soon.